All right, everybody. Well, we're gonna talk a little bit here today about current things going on, I guess. We know there's a lot going on in the world right now, you know, with all the Russia and Ukraine stuff and all that, you know. We I don't watch a lot of news, and I've been home for a little bit, so I'm not I don't know what's going on currently. This is my last day at home right now, and well, I'm just walking around doing my final check on animals here before I leave and go to work. And it just kind of got me to thinking, you know, as I'm walking around here checking on all these animals and making sure they're good and fed and healthy, happy. It just got me to thinking a little bit, you know, like I said, about this current situation, and everybody's worried about is WW3 gonna happen and all of this. It just really makes you stop and think, you know. People talking about how always, you know, if it does become a war, there's going to be all these shortages of stuff. There's already shortages of things, but there's going to be all this stuff that's we're not going to be able to get, you know, and food shortages and things like that, you know, and seed shortages and all this kind of stuff. Well, as I was walking around here checking on everything, I figured I would just grab the camera and talk a little bit about why I'm glad we do what we do. We may have done flipped that dang water. We you know, of course, we have plenty of animals. Y'all see them in plenty of videos, you know, as far as birds, geese, ducks, chickens, quail. We don't have a lot of quail, but we do have some. Rabbits, you know, things like that. So we have plenty of roosters to be able to breed our hens. So with that being said, we hatch out a lot of eggs. We have eggs in the incubator right now running. A couple of, I don't know how many dozen, but there's several dozen eggs in there. Right now, we've hatched out plenty over the last couple of weeks, and that is a renewable item. Here is one. We always have eggs, so we're never out of eggs to be able to eat eggs. You know, we can eat eggs for breakfast every day, and we eat eggs for breakfast a lot. I've already walked and picked up eggs today, but several times. But we have plenty of varieties of chickens, which range from heavy layers to heavy birds. We hear you. So that means that we can have a lot of eggs, and we can also grow a lot of birds to be able to put them in the freezer, or if, you know, electrical grid collapses or something like that, you know, and we have a problem with that and we don't have freezers, well, we just keep them alive. And we want to eat chicken, well, we just go get us a chicken, harvest it, and do our thing. We also got, you know, all these varieties of rabbits. We got this big gray right here, this white one's right here. They're good, they're very good hardy meat rabbits. They grow big, they produce good. As far as reproduction, we have we have a lot of babies. So right now I'm trying to think. Last hitch when I was home, it was 13 babies born. Yeah. So so there's a lot of babies being born, a lot of chickens being hatched, you know, things like that. So that is a constant renewal thing, you know. It makes me really, really glad that the good Lord has bestowed this piece of land on us to be able to do these kind of things, so we don't have to worry about things like that, you know. I mean, if you look out across our property right here, you can't see a lot on camera, but you see the tree line way back there. Well, that's halfway down my property. So my property keeps going and going and going. So that gives us area to hunt wild game on. There's deer back there. There's turkeys back there. We don't have hogs back there. Thank God, really, because the way they tear up a lot of stuff and things like that. But that's neither here nor there. So but we have, I mean, we live on a homestead, so we have things to defend our homestead, you know. I'm just gonna say it that way. And we have a lot of them. So we have a lot of things for hunting, you know, bows, arrows, firearms, things like that. I mean, we have a lot of them. So we have plenty of resources to be able to harvest wild game, even if the world goes bad, or goes worse. It's already bad. We live in a bad world. But if it gets any worse and we don't have grocery stores and things like that, well, I live on a grocery store. We have drawers and drawers full of seeds for planting. And then you take, like, every year, like we grow purple hull peas every year. Well, the last round of peas that grow on there, we let them stay on the vines and dry out. And guess what? That's seeds for the next year. And we always have way more than what we need. So you can do the same thing with tomatoes. You can do the same thing with bell peppers, cucumbers. You know, you keep the seeds, you dry them out, and then the next year, well, you got your seeds for the next year. You don't have to order them online or go to your local feed and seed store. It's already, you already have it. It's already here. It's already dried out. It's ready to go. You put it in the ground or in a pot and let it germinate the next year and start all over again. And you just keep doing that over and over and over and over. So we are very fortunate, very blessed. I'm not gonna say fortunate. I'm gonna say that we are very blessed in that aspect of the fact that we have the land to be able to do that. And not just have the land to be able to do that, but it takes knowledge to be able to do it. It takes the know-how, you know. I mean, you can't just say, well, I'm gonna grow a garden. Well, I mean, that's how you can start. You start growing a garden, you learn what you can grow. You learn what you don't know how to grow, you know. Or yeah, I guess you could say it like that. Get out of that. So it's trial and error. We learned a ton of what we know strictly by trial and error. I mean, we had a lot of errors. Let's just say it that way. During during our trials, we had a lot of learning. You know, there was a lot that we didn't know how to do it. We didn't know how to grow it. We wasn't, we'll say, well, we wasn't smart enough to read, because on a package of seeds, you buy a package of seeds, it tells you on the back when for your area you should plant them and how far apart you should plant them. You know, how deep, if you put them in a bed, how deep the bed needs to be for the roots. But we didn't know that. You know, I mean, I grew up in the country, and I was just a helper. You know, I didn't know the I guess finer parts of growing stuff, because, well, I just went and helped plant it, and I went and helped pick it, and I helped keep it weeded. That was my contribution to that work. So I just didn't know. And we try to teach our kids now what all you need to do. You know, like if you're planting tomatoes, they need to be, you know, whichever variety, you may need to be 2 feet apart. And if you're going to plant them in the ground, well, you need to till up at least, you know, 8 to 10 inches deep. If you're putting them in a raised bed, you need at least a foot deep. You know, I mean, we're trying to pass that knowledge on to our kids. Now, our kids are 14, 16, about to be 17, 15. And, well, you know how they are. They take care of what they're supposed to, because that's what they're told to do. But that's pretty much it. I ain't gonna say they're not willing to learn. They just hard-headed enough to not care. You know, I mean, they're 15 and 7. They're about to be 15 and 17. They don't care. They you know, they're worried about trucks and girls and football and whatnot. You know, that's all they're worried about. And they ain't worried about learning how to be sustainable if we have a world collapse, if we have a United States collapse. I ain't worried about a world collapse. But they do their part, don't get me wrong, and we appreciate every second that they do around here, whether it's the right thing or the wrong thing. You know, I mean, sometimes they do the right thing, sometimes they do the wrong thing. It's just a matter of, sometimes they just don't know either. You know, I mean, they're young, they still learning also. They learning along with us. So we gotta sit down for a minute. So, you know, we, like I said, we are blessed enough to have gained this knowledge of homesteading or farmsteading, or, you know, whatever it is you want to call it, farming or ranching, or, we're not ranching, of course, but you know, whatever it is you do, you know, the good Lord has blessed you with enough knowledge, us with enough knowledge, and the piece of property to be able to do this on. And we are constantly growing. We're forever thinking about how we're going to move on to the next thing that we're going to do, to the next, whether it's something as simple as a goat pen. You know, what's the next, where's the next best location to put another pen at? Where's the best place to put hogs at? Where's the best place to put a new chicken pen in? Where's the best place to put rabbits at? You know, we're constantly always thinking about it, trying to figure it out and see exactly what it is that we want to do. Now, you may not be blessed with that. You may be blessed with an apartment in an apartment complex, or a house on a city lot. You know, it ain't even necessarily got to be an apartment. We lived in a house on a city lot for a long time, 10 years. And we learned a lot of stuff there, but we didn't have the area. You know, we had 10 chickens and a little garden that was, I don't know, 30 foot long and 20 foot wide, maybe, you know, had 4 rows in it. But every year we grew something different, learning, you know, when we're growing this, what do we need to do? When we're doing this, what do we need to do? And all that good stuff. We learned a lot of that while we was in town. And Ashley's about to pull up, so I'm gonna stop for a second. Okay, so as I was saying, if you're not blessed with a big piece of property, you know, you do what you can do to get by, especially in these times. You know, spring's right around the corner. We was just noticing earlier that there's a bunch of pollen on top of like some tubs that's got water and things in it. We was noticing that there's a bunch of pollen on there, which of course we live in piney wood country, so that's all from the pine trees. They always start first. But that tells us that spring's right around the corner. We already got everything set up as far as what we know we're going to plant this year, you know, when we need to start it, when we need it in the ground or in the beds. We have sat down and figured all that up, because that's what you have to do to be one step ahead of what's going to be going on. So whenever springtime rolls around, we'll have plant starts already going, and everything set up, ready to go as far as growing our own food. We'll have our own cucumbers, we'll have our own tomatoes, we'll have our own pumpkins and watermelons and corn and peas and all that, you know. So we won't have to worry about it. Now, if the world crashes or economy crashes or whatever, if you don't save it, preserve it somehow for it to last you through the winter time, well, you're going to run out. But that's where a community of people comes in. You know, we have a great community out here where we live, and we all try to take care of each other and do what we can do. And we hope that you live in the same kind of community where things can be easily accessible, as far as in a bind if you needed something. We do appreciate everybody's support on this channel. You know, of course, the world goes to a bad place, a worse place, as I said earlier, then there's no internet. Well, there's no more of this channel. But we're going to keep putting content out until that happens. May not ever happen. I really hope it don't. I really don't think it will. So we're going to keep putting out content and doing what we got to do as far as growing this channel and putting more information out there. I know this is not a very informative thing, but it's just to kind of let you know, well, I was just thinking about it. If the world goes bad, worse, and we have no grocery stores, we have no infrastructure left, well, we have our own infrastructure here. So the good Lord's blessed us with that knowledge and the place to be able to do it, and we can't thank the good Lord enough for that. And we like to try to share as much information as we can and try to pass it along, pay it forward kind of thing, you know. I mean, we wasn't put on earth to learn how to do something and not tell anybody else how to do it. So y'all stay tuned for more videos coming out. It's like I said, it's coming up springtime. We're gonna have a lot of planting videos, garden videos, different things like that. We're gonna be trying some different ways of growing things this year, so y'all be looking forward to that. And we appreciate all y'all support. If y'all are new and you just found this, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and subscribe to the channel. Turn notifications on, you'll be notified. If you're on Facebook and you're seeing this, man, follow us, like us, you'll be notified when we upload videos. Don't be afraid to email us or DM us on Instagram or anything like that, you know. Just shoot it. If you got a question, shoot it to us. Leave us a comment on the video. It don't matter. We're constantly checking it. So y'all give us some feedback on what y'all have questions on, and we will see y'all on the next one.